Hey, what's good, YouTube? So today, I wanted to talk about distracting yourself and positivity. Um, I know there's obviously a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, but as content creators, this can be a challenging time. No doubt a lot of people have kind of lost projects, or those projects have been pushed back, or some other issues obviously going on. So today, I want to just talk about a couple of tips and ways that you can distract yourself in a positive way, and that way it'll keep you inspired as a content creator. So I'm just going to jump straight into it. So the first point is something I actually covered, I think it was a couple months ago, last summer. I made a video about spring cleaning your following on social media. So a lot of people are following, for one, tons of people. They're following, hundreds, if not thousands of people on, Twitter or Instagram. And so the issue with that is that that's a lot of content to keep up with, and not all of that content is actually inspiring straight up. There's a lot of content where it's just stuff randomly that you followed for one reason and you don't really care about anymore, but maybe you don't want to unfollow them, or you just don't think about it being a big deal. But what I highly recommend is following less than, I mean, if you can get it under 200, that's really good. If not, then, if you can get it, no more than 300, just as low as possible, because a lot of the accounts right now, especially at this time, aren't posting positive, inspiring things. A lot of people are posting negative things. And so, as a content creator, that really messes up with your creativity and what you typically would be, wanting to do or feeling inspired to do. And so, the thing that I make a habit of is just pretty much anyone that I'm following, I always try to make sure that it's as they're posting, or if their post style changes, is it something that's keeping me inspired and wanting to go out and create another video, or oh, let me try that photography technique, or whatever the case is. Because if not, what I found is a lot of these accounts, like I said, are posting things and it's not really anything that's making me want to go out and do anything. It's more of a distraction. And so I end up wasting time on Instagram. So now that I'm under, 300 people, I've noticed that I'm spending a lot less time browsing on Instagram or even on Twitter, because I'm limiting how many people basically can pop up in my feed. And also, out of those people, I've already filtered how many are actually making me want to go out and create stuff. And so, especially during times like this, you want to be careful about that, because this is an opportunity, since a lot of people are not out and doing things. It's an opportunity for you to work on those projects that you've been wanting to do. So, for example, I've been wanting to go live and, do things like this for a while, but obviously I'm working, and then, client work and stuff like that. So the schedule is pretty crazy. But me wanting to not miss out on the opportunity that I have to take advantage of, I might as well be able to, work on some of those projects that I've been wanting to do for a while. And, let me record another podcast and, knock out two birds with one stone. So it's like you have to really think about the time that you have, try to make, maximize it and make it work for you. Because let's say after all this is done, I'm not even gonna put a time on it because we don't know, but let's say after things have settled down and things are, better, you'll already be that much more ahead of other content creators that are, let's say, in your area, or whatever, because you've been taking the time to invest and really build your personal brand online, while other people are, sleeping basically. So I feel like by the time, things have kind of calmed down and stuff, people will know about me a lot more, because I've been putting in time to make sure that I'm posting more online. I'm, making more YouTube videos. And so I want to be able to continue to build my presence. And I know a lot of you really want to do that. But right now, because you're constantly bombarded by, negative information, unfortunately, it can really damper, put a dampen on what you're doing and what you feel. And so as creators, literally I was learning that our, when we're receiving this information, it really like actually changes your brain and the structure of it a little bit. Don't quote me on that, but basically it makes you where you can't even have that ability to create, because things have kind of changed in your mental state. And so that's the last thing we need, because like Sean Kennel was saying in his live stream the other day, like that's literally how we make a living, is using our creativity. So if we lose that, it's not good. So that's one thing I wanted to share, is just, take the time to be able to spring clean things. Make sure you clean up who you're following on social media. If you are using Instagram, the one tip that I do have for you that you could apply easily is starting to bookmark a lot more posts. So let's say there's a company, let's say Nike, for example. Maybe I don't want to see all of their posts, but I do like a few of them where it's like, okay, I like how they, film that video, or I like the lighting on those shoes, or whatever the case is. Instead of following them, I'll just bookmark some of those posts. And then that way, if I need it for inspiration, I could always go back. And then even or whatever accounts it is that you are inspired by, following a lot less and just kind of bookmarking what is inspiring is a cool way. And then if there are examples, there's plenty out there where it is companies, let's say Epidemic Sound, and you do travel photography or video work, they're always posting content like that. So then accounts like that make a lot of sense for you to follow them, because every time they post, it's going to be something that's either inspiring or educational, or like Rode mics, for example, or deity mics. They also post a lot about, okay, this is how you boom, use a boom, and this is how you can get better audio in your videos and things like that. So it makes a lot of sense. So you have to make sure that you do your part and find out, okay, which accounts are, teaching me things, which accounts are inspiring me visually and making me feel a certain way, and which ones are not. And then that way, what the best direction is to go in. Another thing too is, because as we could see, like social media, of course, has always been very powerful, but it's getting stronger and stronger. And as the state of society, people's emotions are so high, things trend a lot quickly, or a lot quicker, and a lot of it's negative. So also remembering that your posts have a huge impact on the way that these platforms kind of change, and the state of other mental people. So, for example, we all know about some of the issues with toilet paper right now, but let's say no one on social media ever posted about that. We wouldn't even have that issue, most likely. And so it's like, just knowing that your posts do have an impact, and it can kind of start a wave of a certain maybe mental, thinking, or whatever the case is. But just knowing that, try to think twice before you post. And so some of the things that I'll ask myself is, okay, how's this, for one, how does it sound? Because emotions are so high as well, and just always we want to be sensitive no matter what, even when things are normal. You want to consider, okay, how does this come across? How does this look for my brand? Let's say Apple wanted to work with me, and they're like, okay, let's check out his Instagram page or whatever. Does my last post look, is it professional? Is the tone politically correct or whatever? If not, then that's the thing that you have to consider. I mean, if that's part of your brand to kind of be a rebel or whatever, then that's up to you. But for the average content creator, you want a clean, professional brand where any company can work with you and they have no issues about what you're posting, or no hesitations or anything like that. And so even other people that are viewing your content that are not content creators or marketers, as they're viewing your content, they get a certain feeling and they get a certain inspiration. So make sure you ask yourself, okay, how does this come across? Is this something that's going to motivate someone, make them smile, make them laugh, or whatever it is? Just keeping in mind that your tone that you create on your social media channel actually has a huge impact. And if you're somebody with a small brand, it's still important, or smaller following, I guess you could say, that's definitely important, because you'll get unfollowed if it's negative and it's not inspiring for the most part, and you're trying to build something big. And then if you have a much larger audience, it's that much more critical. So those are just some points that I like to keep in mind, is making sure I'm careful about what I am posting, because it does have an impact. Even if it's one person that's negatively impacted by something I posted, that's not a good look, and that's not what I'm about, and most of you don't want to do that as well. So definitely keep that in mind. The other part is just using this time that we have right now. It's always important to stay, in touch with family and friends, but especially right now. So let's say you are just, I need a day off, I need a break, I'm not going to create any content. Using this time that we do have, instead of scrolling on, Twitter or Instagram, or consuming YouTube videos all day long, why not pick up the phone and be like, okay, I haven't talked to my grandmother in a while, or I haven't talked to my cousins in a while. Start a group text. Like my cousins and I, we actually have this huge group chat where it's all of us on there, and we just talk every single day, like throughout the day. And it's really nice. It's literally like, I don't know, every 5 minutes, one of my cousins is texting something. So it's like, it's really cool. And you just got to take advantage of technology in a positive way, because of course it's not all negative. But those are some things that I've been applying myself, and that has helped me, because in times like this, it can be distracting to not stay motivated, and it can keep you from being motivated as someone that loves to create content and loves to just get out there and like, okay, I'm gonna go shoot some stuff, or you want to make some things at home because maybe you can't go anywhere. Like applying those principles, I'm sure will help you, because it's definitely helping me to not be distracted by everything going on, but remembering, okay, what was my goal before any of this started, really getting crazy? Like, what goals was I trying to achieve? So, me keeping that in mind is helping me, and no doubt it'll help you as well. So, if you are watching this on the replay, thank you so much. I do appreciate it, and I hope everyone has a great day. Stay strong, stay confident, and stay motivated.